Picture this. The world is holding its breath, the crowd is silent, anticipation thick in the air. All eyes are locked on a single figure, poised at the edge of possibility. In these moments, the ordinary fades away, and only the extraordinary remains. This is the realm of the extreme, where fear is a companion, and adrenaline is the fuel that drives you forward. A climber dangling from a sheer cliff face, muscles trembling, every movement calculated and precise. The wind howls around them, but their focus is absolute. One slip, and it's all over. But that's the point. This is where they come alive, where the stakes are highest and the rewards are beyond measure. A motocross rider soaring through the air, suspended in a moment that seems to defy gravity. The roar of the engine, the rush of wind, the split-second decisions that separate triumph from disaster. It's not just about the jump, it's about the courage to take it in the first place. A skydiver hurtling towards Earth at terminal velocity, the world rushing up to meet them. For a few heart-stopping seconds there's nothing but the sky, the wind, and the pure unfiltered thrill of free fall. It's a feeling that can't be bottled, but it can be chased again and again. What do they all have in common? Red Bull. It's more than just a logo on a helmet or a can in someone's hand. It's a symbol, a badge of honor for those who dare to go further, faster, higher. Red Bull is the thread that connects these athletes, fueling their ambition and amplifying their achievements. This isn't just a drink, it's a way of life. Red Bull is synonymous with pushing boundaries, embracing risk, and achieving the impossible. It's about the relentless pursuit of greatness, the willingness to fail spectacularly in order to succeed spectacularly. For these athletes and for millions of fans around the world, Red Bull represents the spirit of adventure and the courage to dream big. But how did a beverage company from Austria become the undisputed king of extreme? How did they conquer the world of action sports, transforming from a simple energy drink into a global phenomenon? The answer lies in their relentless drive to innovate, to support the wildest dreams of athletes, and to create unforgettable moments that inspire millions. Red Bull didn't just sponsor events, they created them, shaping the very culture of extreme sports. I've faced my share of challenges. I've stared down danger. I've pushed myself to the limit, felt the fear and done it anyway. I know what it means to stand at the edge, to wonder if you have what it takes to leap. And I know that, in those moments you need something or someone in your corner. Red Bull gets it. They're not just a sponsor, they're a partner in the pursuit of greatness, and I can tell you Red Bull gets it. They understand that primal urge to test your limits and defy expectations. That's why their story is so captivating. It's not just about the stunts or the records, it's about the people, the passion, and the unbreakable will to keep going, no matter what. This is the world of Red Bull. Welcome to the extreme. Red Bull's story doesn't begin in a sleek European boardroom or a high-tech laboratory. Instead, it starts in the heart of Southeast Asia, in the vibrant, chaotic, and endlessly energetic streets of Bangkok, Thailand. Here, among the honking tuk-tuks, the aroma of street food, and the constant hum of city life, a unique beverage was quietly fueling the daily grind of workers, taxi drivers, and students alike. This was a city that never seemed to sleep, and it needed a drink to match its pace. It was here that Dietrich Mateschitz, an Austrian marketing executive on a business trip, stumbled upon a small, unassuming can in a local convenience store. The drink was called Krating Daeng, and it was already a staple among Thai laborers and truck drivers who relied on its energizing effects to power through long, demanding days. Mateschitz, always curious and open to new experiences, decided to give it a try. The taste was unlike anything he'd ever had, sweet, syrupy, and packed with a punch of energy. But what really struck him was the effect. A sudden clarity, a burst of alertness, a feeling of being ready to take on the world. Mateschitz saw more than just a drink, he saw a phenomenon waiting to happen. He realized that this little can held the potential to revolutionize how people everywhere approached energy, productivity, and even fun. Driven by this vision, Mateschitz sought out Chaleo Uvidya, the creator of Krating Daeng. Together they formed an unlikely partnership, one that would bridge continents and cultures. They worked tirelessly to adapt the drink for Western palates, tweaking the recipe, refining the branding, and reimagining the packaging. In 1987, after years of development and planning, Red Bull was officially launched in Austria. It was more than just a new beverage. It was the birth of an entirely new category, the energy drink. But the journey was far from easy. Red Bull's taste was bold and unfamiliar to many Europeans, and its marketing was unlike anything the beverage industry had seen before. Instead of traditional advertising, Mateschitz relied on word-of-mouth, grassroots events, and eye-catching stunts. He knew that to succeed, Red Bull had to stand out, not just as a drink, but as a lifestyle. The brand became synonymous with energy, excitement, and a willingness to break the mold. Mateschitz understood that Red Bull wasn't just about quenching thirst, it was about fueling adventures, inspiring people to push their limits, and supporting those who dared to dream big. The brand quickly became a fixture in the world of extreme sports, sponsoring athletes in events that embodied the spirit of risk-taking and innovation. Red Bull wasn't just a drink, it was a ticket to a world where anything felt possible, and that's where Matashitz's marketing genius truly shone. By connecting Red Bull to a lifestyle of adventure, creativity, and boundary pushing, he transformed a simple Thai energy drink into a global icon. Today, Red Bull is more than just a beverage, it's a symbol of possibility, a brand that continues to inspire millions to chase their passions and live life to the fullest, no matter where in the world they are. Forget flashy commercials, forget celebrity endorsements. Red Bull did things differently. They went straight to the source of their target audience, the adrenaline junkies, the thrill seekers, the daredevils. Instead of traditional advertising, Red Bull invested in the athletes themselves. They became patrons of the extreme. They sponsored events, big and small. They built a community around their brand. They didn't just want their logo plastered on a billboard. They wanted to be in the thick of it, part of the action, and it worked. Red Bull's strategy was simple but honestly, super effective. They identified sports that totally embodied their brand values, daring, high energy, and visually spectacular. Then they just went all in. They poured money into sports like cliff diving, mountain biking, and snowboarding. They even created their own events like the Red Bull Air Race, which is this high-octane spectacle of aerial acrobatics. But, they didn't just sponsor athletes. They actually built them into stars. Names like Travis Pastrana, Shaun White, and Felix Baumgartner became pretty much synonymous with Red Bull and the extreme sports they dominated. When it comes to unforgettable marketing stunts, few can rival the sheer audacity and spectacle of the Red Bull Stratos Jump in 2012. This event wasn't just a leap from the edge of space, it was a leap into the collective imagination of millions around the world. Red Bull, already known for pushing boundaries in extreme sports, set out to do something that had never been attempted before on such a grand scale. The Stratos project was years in the making, involving a team of scientists, engineers, and experts in high-altitude flight, all working together to make the impossible possible. The mission was as much about human achievement as it was about brand storytelling, and Red Bull made sure every detail was meticulously planned and executed. At the heart of this mission was Felix Baumgartner, an Austrian skydiver and base jumper with a reputation for taking on the world's most dangerous jumps. Baumgartner was no stranger to risk, but this challenge was on a completely different level. Wearing a custom-designed pressurized suit emblazoned with the Red Bull logo, he prepared to ascend higher than any human had ever gone in a balloon before. The goal? To break the sound barrier with his own body, something no one had ever done outside of an aircraft. The preparation was intense, involving countless hours of training, simulations, and safety checks. Every step was documented and shared with the public, building anticipation and excitement for what was to come. On the day of the jump, the world watched as a massive helium balloon slowly lifted the Red Bull Stratos capsule into the thin blue-black air of the stratosphere. Inside, Baumgartner sat quietly, peering out at the curve of the Earth far below. The capsule climbed to an astonishing altitude of 128,100 feet, nearly 24 miles above the planet's surface. The tension was palpable, not just for the team on the ground, but for the millions of viewers glued to their screens. Every second was broadcast live, turning the event into a global spectacle unlike anything seen before. When Baumgartner finally stepped out onto the tiny platform, the world seemed to hold its breath. Then, with a single leap, he plunged into the void, beginning a free fall that would last over 4 minutes. During his descent, he reached speeds of over 800 miles per hour, breaking the sound barrier and setting multiple world records in the process. The jump was a breathtaking display of human courage, scientific innovation, and the relentless pursuit of the extraordinary. Cameras inside and outside the capsule captured every heart-stopping moment, from the dizzying heights to the triumphant landing in the New Mexico desert. But beyond the technical achievement and the thrill of the jump itself, the Stratos mission was a masterclass in marketing. Red Bull didn't just sponsor the event, they owned it, weaving their brand into every aspect of the story. The Stratos logo was everywhere, from Baumgartner's suit to the capsule and even the Mission Control Center. The event was designed to be shared, discussed, and remembered, with Red Bull at the center of the conversation. It was a bold statement about what the brand stood for: energy, adventure, and the willingness to go further than anyone else. The impact was immediate and massive. Over 8 million people tuned in to watch the live stream on YouTube, shattering previous records for online viewership. Social media exploded with reactions, memes, and tributes to Baumgartner's daring feat. People gathered in living rooms, classrooms, and public spaces around the world to witness history in real time. The jump became a shared cultural moment, uniting people across continents in awe and admiration. Red Bull's gamble had paid off, turning a high-risk stunt into a global phenomenon. In the days and weeks that followed, the Stratos jump dominated headlines and news broadcasts. Billions of media impressions were generated as journalists, bloggers, and influencers dissected every aspect of the mission. The story was everywhere, from major newspapers and TV networks to online forums and podcasts. Red Bull's brand was suddenly synonymous with innovation, bravery, and the spirit of pushing limits. The company had managed to capture the world's attention in a way that traditional advertising could never achieve. The legacy of the Red Bull Stratos jump endures to this day. It set a new standard for what branded content could be, inspiring countless other companies to think bigger and bolder. For Red Bull, it was more than just a marketing win. It was proof that their brand truly gives you wings. By reaching for the stratosphere, they didn't just break records, they redefined what it means to connect with an audience through storytelling, spectacle, and sheer human ambition. Red Bull's success wasn't just about sponsoring events, it was about creating their own media empire. They founded Red Bull Media House, which is a production company that creates high-quality documentaries, films, and web series. Their YouTube channel is honestly a treasure trove of adrenaline-fueled content. From stunning documentaries to live streams of extreme events, Red Bull has totally mastered the art of digital storytelling. They've built this super loyal following of millions who crave adventure and inspiration, and they've done it by staying true to their core values: authenticity, excitement, and pushing the limits. So, what can other brands learn from Red Bull's success? It's simple. Don't just sell a product, sell a lifestyle. Connect with your audience on an emotional level. Support the communities you serve. And yeah, don't be afraid to take risks. Red Bull has shown the world that marketing can be so much more than just selling a product. It can be about pushing boundaries, inspiring audiences, and creating truly unforgettable experiences.